Hello everyone. Welcome to Debugging with K-Tips, and thank you for joining me for the first video in this new series, Machine Learning for Beginners. In this playlist, we're going to build a solid foundation in machine learning, from the basic ideas all the way to building models like LSTMs that can work with sequences and time-based data. You don't need any background in data science, machine learning, or even advanced math. Just curiosity and a willingness to follow along. In this first video, we'll answer a few key questions. What is machine learning? What is it not? What do some common ML terms actually mean? And what does the learning journey look like? Let's get started. So, what is machine learning? In short, machine learning is a method that allows computers to learn from data and make decisions or predictions without being explicitly told how to do it. Traditionally, programming works like this: a developer writes clear rules for the computer to follow. In machine learning, we flip that around. Instead of giving it the rules, we give it examples, lots of them, and the computer figures out the patterns. For example, if we want a program to recognize whether an email is spam or not, we don't manually list every possible spam keyword. Instead, we show it a bunch of emails labeled spam or not spam, and it learns from the examples. That's machine learning in a nutshell. It's about learning from data instead of rules. Now, what machine learning is not. It's not magic. It's not human-level thinking. And it's definitely not some kind of self-aware intelligence. Despite the hype, most machine learning models are just statistical tools that recognize patterns in data. It's also not the same thing as artificial intelligence, at least not the kind you see in science fiction. AI is a broader field. Machine learning is one approach within AI, focused specifically on learning from data. And finally, learning machine learning doesn't require advanced math. If you can understand basic logic, work with code, and stay consistent, you can absolutely build and train machine learning models. Let's define a few basic terms you'll hear throughout this series. First, features. Features are the inputs to your model. These are the pieces of data you give the computer. If you're predicting housing prices, your features might be square footage, number of bedrooms, or location. Next, labels. Labels are the outputs or answers you want the model to learn to predict. In our housing example, the label would be the actual price of the house. And then, the model. The model is the mathematical system that learns the relationship between the features and the labels. You train the model by giving it many examples, and over time, it learns to generalize and make predictions on new data. Think of the model as a student. The features are the questions, the labels are the answers, and training is the studying process. Now let's take a step back and look at the typical machine learning process. Here's what a basic ML workflow looks like. First, you collect data. This can come from files, sensors, databases, or even web scraping. Next, you clean and prepare the data. Real-world data is often messy, so you'll need to handle missing values, normalize formats, and make sure it's in good shape for learning. Then, you choose a model. For simple problems, that might be something like linear regression. For more complex patterns, you might choose a decision tree or a neural network. After that, you train the model. That's where the model looks at the data and starts to learn patterns. Once training is complete, you test the model on new data to see how well it performs. From there, you can tune the model, adjust settings, or even go back and improve your data. And finally, once it performs well, you can deploy it, putting it into a real-world application to make useful predictions. This is a loop, not a straight line. In practice, you often go back and forth between steps as you experiment and improve. So where is all this heading? In this series, we're going to explore each of these steps, starting with the types of machine learning and then diving into how to actually build and train models using real code. We'll keep things clear, practical, and focused on learning by doing. In fact, by the end of the series, we'll be building a working LSTM model, one that can understand sequences in data like text or time series. We'll explain every concept along the way, so it's never just code without context. In the next video, we'll break down the different types of machine learning: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. Each one has its own approach and use cases, and understanding the difference is key to choosing the right technique for your problem. If you're interested in continuing this journey, and I hope you are, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and follow along. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.